All right, today, let's find a little freedom somehow. Go ahead and take your mat, because I'm sure you have one, and roll it so your bum will come to the edge of your mat. So you need to have your feet on a place on the floor where they can slide. So just for maximum, put your bum right at the edge of that folded place of your mat. If you happen to have the space, you can have your mat all the way rolled up and be at the edge of your mat if you have that big of a room. But I'm assuming that you might not, or if you have that big of a room, you don't even have to be on your mat right now. The most important thing is that you can be comfortable on your back and your feet slide on either the carpet or your floor. Feet flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling. And just take your hands on your belly for a moment and just start to breathe into the belly. And as you breathe into the belly, just feel your hands rise as the belly fills with breath, prana, life force. And just soften the guts on your way down, just allowing that sense of peace and calm, or at least a little more peace and a little bit calmer than you were before. If you like Ujjayi breath, where you half close the back of your throat, inhale and exhale through your nose. If you like to Ujjayi, go ahead and take Ujjayi into the belly. For some, that will be really useful and be very soothing. For others, not so much. So it's not really about doing the right breath. It's just about finding a breath pattern or a way to breathe into the belly right now, to invite some idea in your pelvis, your pelvic floor, your hips, your psoas, your lower back, your guts, to relax. Just a couple more breaths here. And then just give your belly a little rub and pet, and good job. Chew. Just go ahead and just little taps on the sides of your legs, up your thighs, up the sides of your legs, down your thighs, backs of legs, buttocks. Then take your hands, before we get to the legs part, just place them behind your neck. Here's my neck bone, you're still on your back. But you're taking it on each side of your neck and just moving from the spine outward, just gently stroking it with your fingertips here, outward and down. And then after it's outward and down, I'm on my back now, but you're not. Outward and down, just here, and then take it down underneath your ears, kind of rub your ear area, and then slide down this little throat pit here, this little jaw where it hits your neck, and just trace it down those big diagonal muscles into your throat pit, right above your collarbone. Just allow that to soothe and calm. And then just sort of as if you're playing these little vertical strands of whatever it is, fascia, lymph, muscle, just sort of twang them, just like you're playing a ukulele. Just kind of go across them. And just allow that to sort of just cross play them like a harp or a ukulele. Gently, just down. And then with a little bit more soothing intention, just cross those fibers, cross those fibers, cross those fibers. Okay, that was just for our nervous systems. And now release your hands to the sides and wherever they need to be so they're out of the way. Bum to the edge of your mat. I'm a little too high, there we go. And then just allow your right leg to move out to the side, and then feel how it just lets your right leg drop, but leave your left leg up there. Don't pin it, like don't freeze it, but just let your right leg drop. And then notice how your left buttock may or may not have come off the floor. But regardless, with your left buttock, go ahead and initiate with that left hip, that left buttock to bring your right knee back to the center. Just do that one more time to the right. So let your right knee drop. And then notice maybe my left buttock's off the floor. And then bring my left buttock to bring it back on. Let's do that again. Right knee drop. And then left buttock bring back on. Take a moment. Let's do the other side. So left knee drops. Then the right buttock might have come off the floor a little bit. The right buttock moves down to the floor to bring the left knee back. We'll do that 2 more times on this side. So left knee, right buttock replaces the left knee. I'll talk you through it. Right, left knee, right buttock, and then right buttock, left knee. But of course, you can go at your own pace. Now we're going to go a little bit further. So right knee falls and the left knee will follow. But then that left buttock and hip will bring the left leg back and then the right. So let's take it to the other side. So left falls, right follows, and then the right leads you back all the way. So right falls, left follows, and then the left hip, sacrum, and then the right leg. Left knee, right leg follows, then the right hip, the sacrum, and then the left will follow. So right, then left, and then left, middle, right. Left, then right, right, middle, left. Do it twice more. Right, then left, left, sacrum, right, left, then right, right, sacrum, left. This time we're going to take it, let it fall to the side, but now allow your right leg and that left, you're going to let that toe release and let it slide, kind of circle down along and then bring it back up. And then we're going to let the left fall, right slides on top and back up. It doesn't have to go very far. It might only go like an inch like that, depending on how much movement you've got in this moment. So if it's that small, just let it be that small to start. It's that same action, just releasing the top leg a little bit. And then when it gets a little bit more free, depending on if it gets a little bit more free, or maybe it was already more free, let it slide. It should feel nice and full of momentum. This is where your sticking the mat will not help you here because you won't be able to have that slide of the momentum. Just let it be easy. Don't force it. Don't make it feel good. Don't make it feel anything. Just let it be free. Free to be what it is. Incorporate that idea of being free to be what it is today. There's times we want to shape things. Yes, that's true. Otherwise, we would be just free to follow all of our habits and tendencies. But there's times when we look at what it is with a different way, with a different eye. We look at what it is with a curiosity, with a willingness to learn from what it is, instead of to judge it and decide, is this right or wrong? But to really dissect it and see what it is, for what it is, before we put a context on it. We understand it before we incorporate it into our contextual reality. Okay, just a few more of these. If you had enough, of course, stop. And then just take a moment and just notice how's it feeling in there. You might turn your head to side, just gently rolling it off the back of your skull, just to see if I can find any connection between my head, my skull bones, and my pelvis. Via the spine, can I find some more breath in my spine? And now, continuing with these flings, we'll take the right leg and let it slide down, and then as if I have a puppet string, catch it with my right knee. My right foot stays on the floor, and then that right foot drops down, and then the right knee brings it back up. So I'll do that side again so you can see it better on camera. So the right leg is going to drop, and then catch with the knee, and then drop and up. And now we'll take the other side. So the left leg drop, catches at the knee. You don't have to do this with your hands. This is me helping you see. So the leg drops, and the knee catches up. Foot stays on the floor here. So it's really about momentum and gravity. So as it flops down, let it be as floppy as you can. If for whatever reason your joints don't like to be this loose, or they're not ready to be this loose yet, do what you can. You've been injured or you got something clicky, pay attention to you. The idea, though, is to find some sort of freedom and fluidity with the momentum of the leg, with the momentum of the weight of the leg. So you let your own momentum help you move into freedom. There's times when we have to swim upstream. There's times where we are definitely not, we definitely don't have momentum. But there's ways, if we can find some momentum somewhere, it can help us relax, release, and find a flow that maybe has been there, we just haven't been able to see it. And just sliding it a few more times here, lubricating the hip socket. And then this time we're going to on the floor. And this next time we're just going to take it so the foot comes off the floor a bit. You won't freeze in space like that, and then back down. So the left leg on the floor, and then off the floor, and then down, and then on the floor, and then off the floor, and down, on the floor, and off the floor. I'm not being too firm about keeping both of my buttocks on the floor or anything like that. Just be free here. Let it be easy. Feel it as a lubricating methodology for your fascia and your hips. And this time, let's take it on the floor and then off the floor. And this time, we're going to take it, swing it all the way around and have that toe touch the ground. From there, left leg on the floor and then off the floor, and then swing it up and over the top, and then toe touches on the floor, off the floor, and then swing it all the way around, toe touches, and then on the floor, off the floor, swing it all the way around, toe touches, on the floor, off the floor, swing it all the way around, toe touches, one more on the floor, off the floor, swing it all the way around, toe touches. Take a moment. Might even extend your legs out just to see. Does it feel different? Of course, you're kind of on your mat here, so it might feel a little weird, depending on how thick your mat is. And now heels planted to the floor. Do some heel rocks. So I'm just moving my toes back and forth here, but my heels are Velcroed to the floor, and just let that wave of fluid move through the body. Now it's kind of awkward with my mat all bent into shape, so I'm on uneven surfaces, but do your best, or just, undo your mat. We don't need any more sliding factor yet for right now. So just feel those heel rocks. And I feel possibly nice jiggling in your organs, around your diaphragm here, around in the chest, the lungs and the heart, the throat, kind of the jaw, so like really relax here. Maybe you can feel some movement in your eyes, inside your ears. When I'm talking, of course, I've got tension going on to make sound. So I'm not feeling as tense through my ears and my throat. Is loose. All the way up to the top of your brain. So I'm feeling now the diaphragms and my arches relate to the diaphragm in the top of my skull, perhaps. A couple more. Just heel rocks. This is great for your lymph, by the way. And keep it flowing, and then release. Take a moment to feel. Now, if your mat's kind of bugging you, go ahead and spread it all the way out. Or if it wasn't bugging you, just stay there. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Inhale, exhale, pull the legs up. And then inhale, slide that toe all the way down. Exhale, bring it on up. Inhale, slide it all the way down. So my foot's not really on the floor there. Exhale up. If that's too much, just let your left toe go to the floor. You don't have to slide it all the way down. Exhale up, and then slide it all the way down. And one more time, exhale up. And this time, if you want, hold through the whole pose. If that's too much, just keep your leg crossed with your foot flat on the floor. And inhale into your belly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And what happens if you inhale here and just imagine that you're arching your back, drawing your tailbone down to the ground, moving your pubic bone down to the ground as if you were going to take your lower back off the floor. Don't actually do a very big movement there. And then exhale back. Inhale, just sort of like a cat-cow here, and then exhale, but it's really small. I'm not going to do it. I mean, I could do it really big so you'd see it, but that wouldn't really be great for my body. So just imagine that you're sort of arching your back here and then replacing your back to the floor. Imagine that you're inhale, arching your back here, or maybe it's a small arch, and then bring your back to the floor. And this time, make it even smaller as you imagine arching your back. Imagine bringing your leg closer to your chest. Just, this is like 1/4 of an inch in either direction. Just to soften a little deeper in the hip, and then release. And then just feel your pubic bone drop down as the leg drops in, literally 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch for each. And then again. Can I relax a little deeper? Can I relax a little deeper? Can I find more freedom through some sense of relaxation? Instead of always needing to fight for my freedom. Sometimes we do need to fight. Sometimes we do have a big boulder we need to push against to move. And sometimes those boulders are within us. And when we're dealing with our own internal landscape, yes, there's sometimes we have to fight and really discipline and just get in there and do the work. And there's other times, sometimes relaxing is the work. So allowing ourselves to find freedom by not having to brace, by not having to protect. How can I find that inside of myself? Take a little more breath moment and then release. I know we were there for quite some time. And just let yourself be here. Let that relax and slide your legs out. Now, if you're feeling a little sore or like yikes, don't do such a big movement on the second side, okay? So take your left ankle, inhale, exhale, bring it up. And then inhale, leg comes down. Exhale, I did a little too much on that side. I can feel my right hip a little bit. Because I was demonstrating bigger for camera. And if I was in class live with you, I would have been demonstrating bigger too, but I could have had you gather around and I could have shown you how subtle it is. So we're learning. Take about 4 of these. That's about all you really need. That's about all I really need anyway. Maybe you need more or less. And then stay where it's comfortable. Breathe into that pelvic floor, into your belly. Find that place of relaxation through the guts, like we did earlier just by breathing before we started any of the things we did today. Remember, it's totally fine just to have your foot flat on the floor here. And now, go ahead and just do that little movement as if you were arching your back. So if I don't have my foot up, it'd be like I'm doing this movement. But this is, like I said, way bigger than you're gonna do, okay? It's just to show you the action. And you might be here just with foot on the floor. You can still do it. Still works. Works great, actually. But if you're on your back with your leg up, it might just be imagining it. Or how small can it be and still do it? How small can you make it and still do it? Just small, repeat, stop when you want to. And after you've done a few of those, can you take it one more layer of relaxation? This is where I kind of have to get really deep with my letting go. As I arch that back just a little bit, like it's so small, like 1/8 of an inch, allow my leg to sink in towards me, like an eighth of an inch, just a little, I'm just going a little bit deeper, and there's just whoosh. It's this really sweet, quiet place for me. I'd like to hear, if you go do these, I'd love to hear what your experience is. It may not be deep and quiet at all. It might be bright and shiny or noisy or frustrating. Who knows? Sometimes if I feel like I can't get them on the same page together, I do one then the other, and that's okay. You know, eventually you're trying to get them so they go together, but some days that's just not happening, depending on our nervous systems and other scenarios. Just a few more, that's good, that'll be enough. And then just stay there. Go back to just the breath, just a simple breathing. And then release. Take your legs up, then open the legs, and then close. Open the legs and close. And we're still working with that pelvic floor issues, not issues. We are working with the pelvic floor as a study a little bit. So you can let yours bounce like mine, or you can just control them out and in. We're just giving some action and idea to the inner thigh area while our back is completely supported here. And then just stay open, bend the knees if you like, and then just take them sides, or just rock them side to side a little bit. Not this side to this side, but lateral, as if I'm bringing my right hip up and my left hip down, then my left hip up and my right hip down. And then now go that way I did before, kind of over the top. Just play around. All right, before we get off the floor today, go ahead and let your knees drop over to the right, like you did before. And this time, take your left arm over your head to meet your right hand, and then back over. So I'm doing a half, just like one rainbow, not a full circle. Over, so my hands come together, and then I'm avoiding the microphone there, but over the top. And I'm looking at my fingers. My head is following my hand this whole time. Now we'll take full circles, so go over the top of the head. Arm continues to go down across my leg and over my head. Eyes still following my hand, which is dragging on the floor. And then my hand comes together, and then let me reverse that circle. All right. And now my hands are together. And let's just go ahead and stretch that top arm and replace it back. And then stretch that top arm forward and replace it back. One more time, stretch that top arm forward. Paint that rainbow over now. And stay here. And then take the arm back over the rainbow. Or if you'd liked it over the head, you can do that too. And then roll back onto your back and just notice. Drop the knees to the left. Right arm will be going over the top now. Bump it in the microphone. And hands meet. And then take it over. So I'm just doing these half rainbows. I'm going to move down so I avoid that. So knees drop to the left. And then my arm goes over the top. And then back over the top. So I'm just going to do those half rainbows here, half circles over the top. Just dragging my fingertips, my eyes follow my hand. It's important to include the eyes here. The optic nerves get stretched a little bit. Helps us open our vision in a different way. What does this have to do with yoga, you might ask? Everything. This time we're going to continue the circle and just take it down. I might have started the other direction on the other side. It doesn't matter. If you need to do it the other way, go ahead. And then we'll reverse the circle, down across and over the head, eyes following the hand. They won't always see the hand, but you can keep them going in the direction as if they, like right now, I can't see my hand, but I can now. Part of it's because I have glasses on. And then just stay there, stretching that right arm over the top. You can't see me, but I'm doing it. And stretching it again over the top, sliding those palms. And one more time, sliding it over the top. And then paint the rainbow and open. You notice that my legs are not in the traditional bring my knees up to the chest twist, but more in it's a little bit more spacious in my pelvis. It's a different kind of twist. That just resulted in dropping my knees over to the side. Feel that sense of space. Breathe in. Can I find an ease in my collarbones? Can I find an ease in my hips? An ease in my brain, some freedom and space in there. And then take your arm over the top, paint that rainbow, and then slide back onto your back. And where are we with our bodies? Do I even have one? Bring the knees into the chest. One more thing before we stand up. Let's go ahead and flex the feet gently. Palms press in and slightly up as we fire up those slow twitch muscles. Lower back moving towards the floor. I'm just doing little head rolls here to side across my skull to remind me to keep my jaw relaxed and to remind me to go deeper. Deeper inside. Really feel my lower back moving towards the floor as I'm pressing against my hands and my legs, only as firmly as it feels appropriate for me today. Keep that lower back pressing into the floor. If you start to shake a little bit, that's okay. No harm will come of this. Keep the lower back moving to the floor, back of the neck nice and long. I should be feeling it more in my core, less in my arms and shoulders. And then release, hug it in. Cross the arms, one to the inside of each knee here. And then press. Lower back still moving into the floor. Keep some softness in the jaw and the throat, in the brain and the eyes. And release. Hands to the tops of your shins, press down as if I'm pressing my legs into my hip sockets, lower back into the floor, and yet my legs are pressing against my hands here. Lengthening the back of my spine. Actually, I'm lengthening the front of my spine as well. Now let's put the energy in the front of the spine, lengthen the front of the spine. Let the back of the spine follow. And then release. One more back to the first one. Palms in and slightly up. Flex the feet. Little slow twitch muscle. Firing up that deeper level of core. So we can find a deeper level of freedom inside of ourselves. And release. From there, roll over onto fours. For some of you, this may be all you need today. Just a little kind of touch and go, get some freedom. If you are choosing to end class at this moment, just take a walk around the room, stand, close eyes, feel, and just get a sense of who you are right now. Or it might be a great time to go into your meditation. If you'd like to continue with a little longer practice, turn to fours. Inhale up, and exhale, slide it back. Forearms to the floor. You can just do cat-cow here, otherwise follow my fancier cat-cow. Inhale up, and then exhale, curl toes under, slide it in to dolphin pose. You might notice you have more freedom in your shoulders and hips from what we just did on the floor. From here, come up to the toes, let the tail and the toes and the legs lead you back through, and then exhale back, release the elbows, inhale, come up, slide the toes underneath, slide up into downward facing dog pose. Exhale, inhale back down, and then exhale. Slide the hands back behind you, clasp the hands, inhale, with the hands pull you up, open the collarbones. And then exhale, chest leads over, arms over the top, stretching out your shoulders. Release the arms down, take a moment. Slide the hands back up and inhale up to fours. Exhale, slide hips back. Place the forearms on the floor. Inhale, undulate forward. Curl toes under. Exhale, slide up, leading. Pushing from your uppers to your tail and lowers. From here, feel my lowers, feel my feet and my tailbone lead up to my spine to come back to my uppers. Exhale, press back from uppers to lowers. Release your elbows. Inhale up. Curl toes under. Exhale, slide into down dog. Take a couple breaths in down dog now. Inhale, exhale, draw the abdomen up. Then inhale back to fours. Exhale, come back to child's pose. Slide the hands back. Clasp the hands. Inhale, hands pull down, bringing my body up. Exhale back over. Arms lead over the top, stretching out the shoulders. And release the arms down. Release. Hands come forward. Inhale up to fours. Exhale. Child's pose, forearms to the floor. Inhale up. Undulate. Exhale, curl toes under. Right leg up into three-legged dolphin. Come up to the tippy tiptoe on your left foot. And exhale, slide it back down. Inhale, tippy tiptoe on your left foot. Exhale, slide it back down. Inhale, tippy tiptoe on your left foot. Slide it back down. Bend your right leg, curl your spine, bend everything into yourself. Take your foot back down to dolphin. Exhale, come down to bring your legs down. Get back, release your elbows. Inhale up. Exhale, slide that right leg back behind you. Inhale back up. Exhale, curl the toes under into down dog. This time lift the left leg up. Open the hips to Crankasana. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, open the hips to Crankasana. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, open the hips to Crankasana. Exhale, take it down. Couple breaths. Bend that left leg, take it out to the side. Bend that left leg, thread it through. Right arm over the top. Bend that left leg into your half lotus. Side plank with half lotus. Hands to the mat. Downward dog with half lotus. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, back. Inhale, come to plank. Exhale, back. You notice I'm using my back toes to move me forward. And then release that leg up. Bring it through to the lunge. Heel the back toes off. Slide it back. Same action we were doing when we were going back and forth to plank. Slide it back. Release your knee down. Rotate that front leg out. Just stay here with that leg rotated out. Inhale, left arm over the top. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, up. Over the top. This time, full circle. And now just take some arm play. Make it fluid and fun. Have some fun. And then from here, see if you get a little more range in that leg, in your left leg, and then slide back to down dog. Inhale, fours. Exhale, slide the hands back. Remember, we were back on this train here. Clasp the hands, inhale, up. Take the arms over. Stretch to the shoulders. Inhale, back up. Exhale, come down. Slide the hands forward, inhale up. Exhale, slide back. Forearms to the floor. Undulate through, inhale. This is the last round. Curl toes under, exhale. Dolphin. This time, right leg up. Wait, we did right leg up. Left leg up. Come up to the tippy tiptoes. And lower back down. Tippy tiptoes. Lower back down. Tippy tiptoes. Lower back down. Bend that leg in so you really round your spine a bit. Nose to the knee there. And then bring it back up. And then come down. Child's pose, release your elbows. Inhale up to fours. Exhale, slide that left leg back. Inhale back up. Curl toes under, slide it into down dog. This time, right leg up into three-legged. Open, inhale, open up to Krankasana. Exhale, square the hips. Inhale, open up to Krankasana. Exhale, square the hips. I'm going a little easy on this side because I'm still nursing my hamstring on my left. Open Krankasana. Hips. And then take the inhale, take that leg out to the side. Bend it. Thread it through. Side plank. Couple breaths. Bend that leg, right leg bends, half lotus. Hands to the mat, half lotus and three-legged dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, back. Pushing through that bottom foot. Back. Release the leg up. Bring it through to the lunge. Still peeling that back foot. And back. Still peeling that back foot. And back. Peeling. And back. Peeling. Back, release the back knee. Just keep that ankle squared off, side of the foot, opening up that heel. Interesting, I'm feeling my hamstring in this position. When, if you look at it anatomically, it's really not stretching my hamstring here. It just goes to show you how connected our pelvic floor fascia is. So because this is really opening and changing and moving the pelvic floor around. So maybe it's not my hamstring. Maybe there's something that's a little deeper, or a fascial plane that's not so obvious. Interesting. This is how our injuries or our limitations can really start to teach us. As I was walking the other day, walking slower, I just realized I just needed to walk slower, and I just saw I saw so many different things. Anyway, take your right arm over the top and then back over. Just find those arm circles here, half circles. And then eventually just get into some arm play here. I've got that. I'm just aware that I'm going to wonk that mic. That's okay. So you won't have one, but you might have furniture, which will inform your improv. But just let it be fun and free here. Just as you open up this upper collarbone arm region, and then come back and just notice how much has something changed in your hip. And then slide back into down dog. Fours. Slide the hands back. Child's pose, clasp the hands. Inhale up. Exhale over. Let's take an inhale up again. And then relax as you exhale over. Child's drain. And go ahead and come up to standing. Take a moment and stand and feel. If you have space, take a walk around the room. Just to see how you are in your body, moving. It's all about moving ourselves through space, moving ourselves in our lives, moving ourselves. We're being moved by ourselves. One of the Gene-isms is something about, be moved by yourself, inspire yourself, or something groovy like that, which I can't remember what it is. So just have some fun. Okay. Now we're back on our mats doing yoga. Let's take the legs wide. Inhale, exhale, bend as we take that twist. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the other leg, take that twist. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the right. Stay there. Take your arm out to the side. Well, looking in the direction of your hand, so to the wall. And as if I'm screwing in a light bulb, I'm rolling it this way and then rolling it back. So I'm just going to move my arm this way and then move it back. So it's mostly my shoulder blade. My hand, arm bones into my shoulder blade. And then inhale my arm back up. See if I can rotate the arm, bend the elbow, slide it down the back. Stay there. From here, I'm going to pivot my right foot around and allow my left leg to follow. So now I'm in the twist, like a twisted side angle. And then bend this bottom leg, tuck it underneath, slide it. So now I'm going to sit down on it. Now my arm is right there. Wrap my other arm across. So now I'm in Ardha Matsyendrasana. Okay. Any variations with your arms that you like. You could just wrap that top arm. I'm choosing to go a little bit deeper in the twist today just because I feel like it. And release. I'm going to face the camera now. You won't have to move, but just keep in the place of Ardha Matsyendrasana legs that you were as you unwrapped yourself. Just allow your legs to stack one on top of each other for Gomukhasana. Variation. Now take your fingers and interlace them between your toes if you can. And just do some gentle squeezes, just sort of to pulse, fluid connection. Cramping. One more thing. After you've pulsed there a little bit, slide your hands my hands are on the tops of my feet, and then my thumbs will be on my inner ankles, right in this area here, and just sort of palpate those points. They might be tender. And then find a place where your hands can come to rest, where it feels like, oh, right there. And then breathe into your pelvic floor, into your sit bones here especially. For those of you who would like more, you can take a slight forward fold. But keep breathing into your hips, into your pelvic floor. Can I feel that pelvic floor diaphragm relating to the diaphragm that slices right through my eyes? Can I feel those two diaphragms relating to each other, opening to each other? Then inhale, slowly come up. Exhale, undo the legs. Take a mini Shavasana. Let's roll to the side and come up. And we'll do the other side. We have to come all the way to standing. And so take a moment. Stand and feel. Just notice the asymmetry, which is quite profound for me, at least. And then you can take a little walk if you want. I feel very asymmetrical. Walk, 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 walk. It's okay. And inhale. Exhale, bend your left. Take it down for the twist. Inhale, up. Exhale, bend to the right. Take it down for the twist. Inhale, up. Exhale to the left. Stay there. So your left arm's to the ceiling now. Take it in front of you to the wall. Screw in that light bulb. Bring it back. Unscrew it. Screw in that light bulb. Unscrew it. Screw in that light bulb. Unscrew it one more time. Screw in that light bulb. It's just easy here. Unscrew it. Inhale your arm back up. Rotate the palm to the other direction. Bend the elbow. Slide it down the back. Pay attention to your standing ankles here to make sure you're not rolling out into the outsides of your feet. We overcue that in yoga, and I'm a product of my own overcuing, that's for sure. Sometimes, and all those years and years and years of it. And yeah, it's helping me learn, like, why not to do that. From here, take your left foot, now pivot it so the toe's pointing. You're gonna pivot your back foot as well. So now I'm in a rotated side angle pose, variation. Release that bottom knee. So sliding, it's gonna pull it in, bum to the floor. My hand's already there as my kickstand. I can wrap my top arm around, or take it here, or grab that foot for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Steadying the breath. One more release. And then one more breath and release. Bring it back around. I'm going to take my body and face you. So now you've got your left leg on top, right leg on the bottom for Gomukhasana. Hand, fingertips, fingers between your toes. If you can, and just squeeze, just gentle squeezing, sponging. Then release, slide the hands up, thumbs to your inner ankles, just gently rubbing that area. And then find a place, where your hands can just come to rest. Breathe deep into your pelvic floor. And if you are able and want to, start taking a slow, gentle forward fold. You can undo it from the hips You can also lead down from the spine, so there's no right and wrong here. But since I'm working with pelvic floor today, folding from the hips is going to get there deeper. Inhale up. And undo. Legs out. Upavista Konasana. Inhale, open the chest. And just stay here. Inhale. Deeply exhale. One more breath in. You can either stay there or then exhale slightly, come forward here. Walk your hands over to the right, left arm over. And take that breath deep into my pelvic floor. Can I soften and relax my foundation? Can I find some freedom in my softness? Freedom that leads me into a place where I'm more able to respond. Therefore being more responsible, more responsible. To the truth, to my truth, to being honest with what I'm really believing. So then I can respond, not react. Face that leg. Bring it back around to the front. Having a responsible pelvic floor. We're responding to our life, not reacting. Not to say there's times we need to react. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But I'm going to develop both. And swing it over to your right to the left. I don't know how this hamstring is going to be over here, so I'm just going to way back out of it. Since my hamstring is a little tender, I'm focusing more on what's happening in my side body and allowing myself to explore this other side. And even if there's a little fear there in my left hamstring, can I breathe into it, back out of it, so it can just feel a little safer? So it can feel freer to be where it is. And face that leg. Again, I'm just going to back way out here. Let's go back around to the front. And inhale, walk your hands slowly up. Slowly bring your legs together. Take it onto the back. Just feel yourself releasing into the floor for Shavasana. With each exhale, just allowing yourself to fall deeper and deeper into the center of yourself. Can I find that place of freedom? A place where I say, wow, I don't have to fight right now. When I relax, do I feel free? Or do I feel not free? What parts of me don't really relax? Is it an ankle, a knee, hip, pelvic floor, a rib, a collarbone, a hand, a finger, a jaw, an ear, a sinus, a forehead, and as you breathe now, just feel this melting wave of relaxation cover your entire body. Allow this relaxation to be a gateway into feeling more free. Free to respond. Free to take time. Free to act quickly. Free to not know. Free to experiment. Free to ask questions. Free to have an answer. Free to have an answer that's not popular. Free to be popular. And just take a few more moments now. Feeling your body breathe. Watching your body breathe. Having an experience of your whole body breathing. The more of you that you can sense breathing, perhaps the freer you are right now. And for the next minute or so, just release any expectations. And let yourself be free to be who you are in this moment. even if you don't know who that is. Stay there as long as you like, and if you're ready to come out, take a deep breath in and release. You can gently wiggle fingers and toes, roll head side to side. When you're ready, just roll onto one of your sides into a loose fetal position. And stretch out as if you like from a little nap, and then when you're ready, push yourself up into a comfortable position. Just take a moment and honor yourself for showing up for yourself today. And giving yourself permission to explore what it's like to be a little more free inside yourself. And just notice if I can take this freedom inside myself with me and have it be more present and more to my forefront, to acknowledge that there are parts of me that are free. When I take that into conversation or into community or into relationship, can I allow my connection with my own freedom to allow my surroundings, my other people, places, and things in my life to also experience their freedom, whatever that is for them. Because it may not be what it is for me. Thank you so much for joining me. It's my honor, my privilege to share these teachings. Namaste.